Hello, this is Greg Harrelson with Century 21. As some of you may know, I operate a few different Century 21 offices along the Grand Strand, as well as in Charleston, South Carolina. We have the Century 21 Barefoot Realty in North Myrtle Beach, Century 21 the Harrelson Group in Myrtle Beach, as well as Century 21 Expert Advisors in Charleston, South Carolina, serving all the tri-counties in the Charleston area. I wanted to just share some information with you today. I've invited a few guys that have joined our company recently, and I just wanted to have a conversation on camera so we can kind of get some ideas on what it's like to start a career in real estate and to do big business, set high goals, do big business, and just, again, get an understanding of not only what they do, but how they're approaching the real estate business. So, this is all about them, so let me go ahead and turn the attention, ask them some questions, and introduce them. And hopefully you'll get some tremendous value out of this. So, Darren, why don't we just start with who you are and how long you've been in the business. I'll go along, the line here, and so we can share with everyone, the same information, and then I'll shoot some questions off to you. So, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, Darren Stack with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. I've actually been in the business just about 10 months now, a little longer than 10 months. Previously, before I got into real estate 10 months ago, I was actually a broadcast meteorologist. I was the morning weatherman at the local ABC station here for just about 9 years, and actually was in a few other markets before moving here. But I was in TV for about 11 years before getting into making a complete career change into real estate.
Great. Okay. Good. And Mitch, how about yourself? How long have you been in the real estate business?
I've had my license for about 8 years. I've really only been selling for about 4 years. Before that, I was an assistant for one of the other agents at the company. And before that, I was a pizza delivery driver, full-time.
Okay. Pizza delivery. So we've got a weatherman and a pizza delivery guy so
Yes.
far. Okay, great. And, tell them your full name.
My name is Mitch Gainforth.
Okay, good. So Kevin?
All right, Kevin Mills. Graduated from the University of South Carolina and sold cars for a year, actually, before coming to the real estate world.
Okay, good. Let me ask you a question. So I know you sold some cars for a year prior. So
Right.
Before you were selling cars, you were a college student?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
a college student,
So
University of South Carolina.
You're practically, and how long have you been in the business?
Since January 2015,
Okay,
so
so
about 8 months, 7 months.
You're a newbie. How about you, Mike?
My name's Mike Fiebernick, Century 21, the Harrelson Group. Been in the business for about 4 years, and before that I owned a indoor tanning salon.
Indoor tanning salon.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we have quite a bit of diversity when it comes to the backgrounds. I think it's safe to say it doesn't really matter what your background is. You can get into real estate and be successful, of course, if you follow the proper process. So let's go back to Darren real quick. Pass it all the way down there. And so I know what you did. You were in weather.
Yep.
Why did you choose change in career? I mean, why did you choose real estate? But maybe more importantly, why did you even choose to change careers? Because that's a pretty good career.
It was a great career. 2 a.m. wake up certainly got pretty difficult after doing that for 11 years. My body finally just said, okay, enough's enough. My wife and I were looking to start a family. She's got an amazing career herself, but she travels a little bit for work. And it was the decision of whether I was going to stay at 2 a.m. With her wake-ups, or she was going to change careers herself. And the cards were certainly for me to change careers. I wasn't going to continue to wake up at 2 a.m. and potentially miss out on a lot of our future child's life and activities and stuff that you want to be involved in.
Yeah, good. And how about you, Mitch? It's been a little while. You've been with us for a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
But you're sitting there delivering pizzas. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you didn't want to do that the rest of your life. But why real estate? I mean, there's a lot of options. And plus, you're a local.
Yeah.
You grew up in this area, so you know a lot of people. Why did you choose real estate?
I tried to buy a property and it didn't work out. I really didn't. And I was like, wow, if I'm ever going to know anything about real estate or be an investor or anything like that down the road, I better learn real estate. So I got my real estate license. I mean, it wasn't a very, I was just kind of like going with the flow, man. That's kind of what I was doing at that point.
Yeah. Become an investor.
Yeah.
You got to first, get educated. Okay, good.
Yeah.
How about you, Kevin? So you've just went from college to,
Right.
1 year and doing some sales. And
Right.
And why did you make the change?
Well, I was already in a commission-based job, so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't too big of a switch on that end like it is with some people. but I was tired of doing the 6-day a weeks from 8 to 8. So I was working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 6 days a week, and I was being pretty successful at it. But I thought, hey, if I can sell cars, I think I can sell real estate. And
Okay.
if I put that same work ethic in, I thought I'd done a good job.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
Um,
I know you were previously with another real estate company,
Yes, correct.
and you made a switch. How long were you with the other real estate company?
for about 3.5 years.
About 3.5 years. Okay, and you've been with us since the beginning of this year.
Yeah, January.
2000. Okay.
So about 8 months.
So for you, when you left the tanning salon, the business that you had, why did you get into real estate?
I just saw the success that from meeting all the industry leaders, real estate agents around the area. I just saw the success that was happening over the years of owning the tanning salon, and that's something I just wanted. And the small business that I was in it was more of something that was fizzling out as I got older. So I had to move up to something a little bit more serious.
Okay, good. So, back over to Mitch. So, Mitch, you started off as, in the beginning, you were delivering pizzas, as you said, and then you mentioned that you went and you worked under another agent. Could you tell, the people that are watching this what you meant by that so there's no confusion?
Yeah, I was an assistant for another agent at the company at the Harrelson Group, Brendan Payne, for about 3 years. And I just didn't really know what to do in real estate, and so he was offering the position, and I jumped in with him, and that's basically how I started learning about real estate.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of got your feet wet and your foot in the door by working under somebody, and
Yes.
then you just progressed over time and became your own agent. So why don't you tell us, where are you now? How are you doing, in your career from a production standpoint?
Right now I'm about to hit 90 closed sales, and I'm on track to do about 115 to 120 this year. It'll be my first year breaking 100. Last year I did 67 transactions. So I've basically doubled my output in the last year or so.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How about you, Darren? And remind us how long you've been in the business, because, it does make a difference.
Sure. 10 months in, I've had 6 closed sales, 3 pending transactions right now, 16, 17 active listings at this point. So would like to get those converted over to pendings and closed here in the near future. But things have progressed, I think, pretty nicely for 10 months.
Yeah, and it's important for those of you watching the video to understand that if you do your research, the National Association of Realtors, the average number of closings per transaction nationally is right around 2 transactions per agent. If you take a local market and you take the local MLS along the Grand Strand or even the Charleston market, you'll see that the average is maybe 3 to 3.5 transactions per agent. And as you can see, we've got somebody that's been in the market, in the business only 10 months, and it's already closed over 100% more than the average agent has. And those average agents have been in the market for quite a long time. So it's important to put that in perspective, because we look at Mitch topping over 100 transactions right now. He's been in the market for 8 years, doing fantastic. And you coming along and you're just, hitting the market and doing tremendous results, even in your first year. So how about you, Kevin? How are things going for you? I know you've had a really quick start, so tell us about what's going on with you.
I have 47 active listings right now, 5 pending, 20 closed sales.
Yeah, wow, that's
So,
fantastic.
Started out pretty well.
Yeah, started off really well.
Yeah.
Not pretty well. That's 10 times the average if you look at it from nationally, and the year's not even over. So obviously you're going to do well. And you, Mike, what's going on with you?
Let's see. Since I joined the company, I've closed 25. Got 5 pending, and then of course, being a buyer agent, I've got more and more people coming in town and just writing offers, contracts.
Good. So here's a question. I get this. I hear this from people that have joined our company, and after a year or two, a lot of times I'll hear them say the statement that I'm getting ready to share with you. And I just like to know, what your feelings are, and how you would answer it if I formed it into a question. And here's what I get. I hear all the time, hey, I joined Century 21 one of their offices, the Harrelson Group, Barefoot, or Expert Advisors. I joined them to grow my business. What I didn't realize is not only am I growing my business, I've also had changes in blank. How would you answer that question?
I'd definitely say changes in my life. Where I came from before, it was more of an individual business, to where it was only you. But when I came to the company, I grew up playing competitive sports and, being on a team, and I had no idea that was how, the company was just, it was more of a team camaraderie, a group of us, not only did I grow my business, but also, I made a lot of friends to where not only there's a friendship in the office, but also outside the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so you expanded your friendships and whatnot. And so how does that impact your business?
Your mindset's a lot more positive. It's not where you're not trying to do something on your own, because it's more, as a team you get a lot more done, and the success is you gain success a lot quicker than having a team behind you rather than by yourself.
Yeah, I get that. How about you, Kevin? It's same thing. It's like,
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, why did you even seek us out? Because I didn't know you. If I
Right.
remember correctly, did you seek me out? Did you first reach out to me in Facebook? I think.
Yeah, I believe I emailed you.
You emailed me, okay?
I emailed you first, and I think you forwarded it to
Some-
Jan.
okay, yeah.
And I got in touch with her, but I did my online research. I found out when I Googled Myrtle Beach homes for sale, when I Googled everything that I thought buyers or sellers would be searching online, you were at least the first result or the top 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
So I said, well, he has a commanding internet presence.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to check it out. So I dove a little bit deeper, and I found out that the company was doing really well at the time, and I mean, still doing well, but a really good company. And I met with Jan, and it was the only company that I interviewed with. And
Wow.
when I went in, I saw everything the way, I guess, the teamwork that was there and the people's attitudes and mindsets. I said, this is where I need to be.
Good.
So
good.
I quit my job on Friday, and I started Monday.
Yeah, you sure did go cold turkey, and
Yeah.
I try to act like calm, but at the same token, I'm like, holy cow, this is
Yeah.
that puts a lot of burden of responsibility on my team to make sure that we
Absolutely.
support you and don't allow you to fail, or at least do our part to prevent failure. So it sounds like probably very similar to most people. You did your homework and realized, hey, this is the place that I wanted to go to if I want to do big business. But beyond big business, what else are you experiencing with the company?
Kind of like what Mike said with the team aspect. I mean, we both played sports growing up, and I mean, the best thing about being on a team is that all of your you have similar interests, or your mindset's usually the same, at least with whoever you hang out with on the team. So I mean, you go into the workplace, and there's so many people there trying to hit the same goals as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're competing against each other. You're motivating each other to go out and get those goals.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you walk in there. There's music a pumping, and there's guys just ready to go at 7:45 in the morning, ready to start making calls.
Yeah.
At 8, and just building that team bond. And
Yeah, and both of
Right.
you mentioned team, and it's important that you understand that all of these agents are independent contractors. They're not technically on anybody's team, but
Right.
what I believe you're referring to, it's a team-like culture,
Right.
a team-like environment where
Right.
everyone's kind of sharing ideas and supporting each other as if
Absolutely.
you were on the same team. Okay, I just
Absolutely.
want to make sure that we're clear on that so no one gets confused.
Yep.
How about you, Mitch? I know you've been on an interesting journey, and I've been fortunate to be with you for the 8 years, because I've kind of been able to witness challenges that you've had, maybe even some things that maybe me and you would call failures, and then see you absolutely break through a lot of barriers and go to a whole nother level. You were at our company, so besides why you sought us out, let's just skip to, what are you getting from the company beyond learning how to make sales? Because the reality is this, that yes, we are in the business of real estate, and a lot of our successes are measured by sales, But as a company, we actually measure our success based on the impact that we have on those that we are in a working relationship with. So for me, that means you all. And so that's the stories that I live for, is knowing that at the end of the day, did I make a difference within the agents that I have coached or I've come into communication with. So tell us a little bit more about the journey you've been on, because we've both grown by knowing each other. Why don't you share with us?
I think, the biggest thing that I've learned is growing up in all my young years, I was basically a stingy type of person. So I really wouldn't have put my hand out to help somebody else. I mean, that's just the reality of the scenario. You, Greg, and Brendan and Jan really taught me how to be there for other people. You taught me what life is about going out to other people and helping them. Because right now, Kevin Mills and I, right this second, I went on an appointment with these people yesterday. He went on an appointment today. Now we're standing here, we're competing against each other, but we're also helping each other and growing forward at the same time. That is because you taught me at the very beginning, okay, Mitch, if you're going to be successful, you're really going to have to start helping other people. So what became my why, my reason for doing this real estate business, is actually helping other people. The thing that gets me up in the morning is knowing, hey, Kevin might ask me something, Mike might ask me something, Darren may ask me something, and I go, yeah, let me help you out with that. And I see them go over the hurdles that I've gone through, and I'm like, yeah, I can help you get through that. That is, to me, what I've learned about, and that's why I'm still doing this today, and why I can't imagine never not doing this. I'll be doing this the rest of my life simply because of that. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think we I know you've heard me say this, and hopefully I'll say it correctly, or at least the way that I intend to, that there's a direct correlation between the wealth that you create for yourself and the amount of difference that you make within others. And so if we just focus on making a difference in your fellow teammates, then ultimately you're both going to be served. So Darren, over to you. Why did you choose the company? I know we've known each other.
We've known each other for a few years before I decided to make any kind of career change. And actually, I was originally looking to get into teaching at the end of my contract.
Yeah.
When TV was coming up, my contract was coming up, and things didn't pan out the way that they were looking at, so I had to kind of venture in. And you had just posted on Facebook that you were looking for somebody to change careers. So I reached out. We had a 2-hour conversation. I don't even know if you even remember the conversation we had, but 2 hours sitting in your office having a conversation, kind of discussing some of my fears. And, fears of competition in real estate, what happens when the market, goes and turns down like we just saw. So there was a lot of things that I had a lot of questions about, but having a conversation with you about it actually changed my perspective completely. And then once I started seeing the atmosphere within the office, it just solidified everything that we had talked about. How, as these guys have all talked about, the team atmosphere is amazing in there. No one's out there cutting each other's legs out from underneath them to get a listing. It's about support. It's about helping each other when even you don't realize that you're needing the help. What was it, about a month ago, where I was going through a little bit of a mindset situation, and he just made a subtle comment, gosh, you've been a little mad lately. And it was that little comment that completely changed my mindset. And it wasn't a mean comment, it was just kind of busting my chops. But that's how quickly and how well we all have worked together as picking each other up when we may be down and not realize that we're in a funk or in a little bit of a mindset. So just seeing that and getting that atmosphere has been a completely restructuring of my perspective of, one, real estate, because a lot of people think you just kind of go out and sell homes, or you list a home and that's just kind of what happens in real estate, and that's not the case at all. I mean, if that's your mentality and you're in real estate, I'm sorry, you're doing it wrong. Because the reality is we're in an office that helps each other, that is out there to work together to help the public, one, be educated on making the best decisions possible for their investments. The last thing you want is somebody who's not informed, and the amount of training is incredible. Little did I ever think about in my 10 months of being here in Century 21 is that, the education that I'm getting on a daily basis, not just from you, Greg, but from Mitch, from Kevin, from Mike, and all the other agents in the office, whether it's about real estate or not, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the mind share that we all experience is pretty incredible, because I have to admit, and I hopefully you really get this, I learn from you all every day. You know, and sometimes, you know, I throw things out there and it's a test, you know, and you all go and test it. And sometimes I say, well, that didn't work. And sometimes I say, man, I wish I would have done that, you know, 10 years ago. So and I think that's part of the process, right? It's kind of like having a mindstorming session pretty much every day of your life, because you're really you're able to share. So we'll wrap it up, but let me ask each one of you this question, and I'll start with you, Darren, so the other three will have a little bit more of an advantage, because you'll know what the question is. And that is, so where do you want to go with this career?
I mean, the opportunities are truly endless if you just dedicate yourself. But my ultimate goal, and I actually shared this with my wife the other day, and she kind of chuckled, was like, yeah, right, is that I don't want real estate to be my primary income. I want to be able to take this and learn how to be a business person, an entrepreneur, and have this as something that I enjoy doing, but being able to supplement a life elsewhere outside of real estate. So this is kind of just a means to a distant future, which may be, but there is at least the opportunity to kind of grow myself as an entrepreneur and a business person, to expand my potential income from other opportunities. Yeah,
that's great. And I think a lot of the principles that you're learning to grow this business will be applied to other things also. So that's great. What about you, Mitch? Where do you want to go with this?
I have a really big goal in real estate. I want to be the #1 agent in the world. I want to do that for a couple years, and then I want to start a company and do what you're doing right now, Greg, full-time as a partner with you in that. And then other businesses will come up, I'm sure, but right now that's where I want to go with this. I just have the drive to want to be the #1 agent in the world, and then help other agents get to where I got to. That's my whole reason for being here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you'll be a great example, you know, for those other agents. And let me tell you, you got my support, you know, because there's nothing, you know, I'm a coach. I look at myself as being a coach of real estate agents. And there's nothing more exciting to be able to watch some of your players achieve great things. So, you know, it's not that your goal will be any better than maybe Darren's goal just because it's got a bigger number, but both goals are equally important because they're important to you. And my goal is to help each one of you achieve those. How about you, Kevin? I mean, you know, both you and Darren are the most new in the business, and you probably haven't put a lot of thought to it, but, you know, just off the cuff, I mean, where do you want to take this?
I still want to have my same role. I love selling real estate. I love meeting people, and I love going on appointments and spending time with people and really helping them. So, I mean, it's something where every time I have an appointment, it kind of gives me a rush every time I walk in. So it's something that I like to get fulfilled every day. So I definitely want to keep doing what I'm doing. I love my team. I love the group that I'm in. And right now I see nothing else that I definitely want to do than just keep grinding like I am, and then overcome Mitch next, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably along the same lines as Mitch and you know, Kevin. You know, I being on a team, I always want to be the best and #1. So every Monday, I always check. I call it my scoreboard, but I go in the copier room. You know, I look to see where I'm at. Then I gotta go. Okay, I gotta get up there. And you know, I've got like a tiered goal, you know, system to where I want to be the #1 buyer agent, #1, you know, listing agent, then #1 overall agent, and then, you know, just as long as I can keep on going up and I keep on growing, I mean, basically I look at it as the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But I you know, I do want to be an entrepreneur. I got that entrepreneur spirit. I've owned a business since I was young, so you know, eventually I would like to partner, you know, with you and, you know, have my own company.
Awesome. So. Good. Okay. So how could I better support you and your goals right now? Just a thought that I had is like, what could I do to better support you?
Oh, I mean, I'm getting plenty of support and coaching and training. It's so I mean, don't.
Well, I'm not asking for you to praise me.
Yeah, yeah.
I thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I'm sincerely asking, what could I do to better serve you to support your goals?
Honestly?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're on camera. You better be honest.
I'm like, just be like, all my coaches growing up. Be hard on me because, as long as you're being hard on me as a coach, which I'm used to, then I'm just going to excel towards my goals.
Okay. Yeah. So you respond good to
Yes.
that
Yes.
style.
Mhm.
How about you, Kevin? How can I better serve you, or what could I do differently, or just add on to
Right.
help you accelerate your business and get to where you want to go?
I think everything's kind of like an add-on because there's nothing I really think you're not doing that I need. I love the support and the questions you ask me and some of the tips you give me, and you'll hear me on the phone saying something and you'll give me just a different route to go on it or a different way of saying something. So, I mean, keep it up. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. Yeah,
Good.
I love every time I get some coaching.
Okay. And Mitch, you've got a goal that's pretty extraordinary. So it's going to take probably work on both of our parts in order to really, gather the resources and accomplish what you want to accomplish. But what comes to your mind? Like, what kind of support do you need?
I think you kind of figured me out a little bit. Like it's kind of like when I'm being whiny and a little bit, you start ignoring me. You kind of figured me out on a level of, all right, here's when I'm going to jump in and give him that thing, and here's when I'm going to step back and let him grow. Mm-hmm. And so I really don't see anything additionally that I think when I need you to really answer something, you're going to be there answering it. I really don't feel like there's anything additionally that needs to be done in order to grow that.
Okay, Darren, you have anything that comes to mind?
Well, you already do it, but I like it more is that you challenge me to think. And I like to think about, even though it's a ready, shoot, aim mentality sometimes, I do like to think because when I think, it'll actually help me learn for the future. And the more I learn for the future now, the better prepared for the future I am so that I can just ready, shoot, and not have to worry about aim. So I'm a thinker. You probably know this already, but I like to take time to think about ways to grow my business or some other assignments that you've given me in the past. I love them because they actually help me concentrate and focus on ways that I can expand and grow.
Okay, so I don't know if I said last question yet, but I'm going to ask one last question. Okay. People are watching this video. There are people that are thinking about making a career change. There are people that are thinking about making a company change. And for the people that are watching, if you could just tell them one thing, if their intention was to grow, what's one thing you could tell somebody if they get in this business or if they make a change, if you would just focus on this one thing, it would put you in a position to reach any goal that you would want? What would that one thing be, Darren?
I would say do the work. You got to put in the work to get it out of what you're going to be putting into it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting in no work, then you're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, treat it like a real job, huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, if you're thinking about making a change to a different company or you're thinking about making a change into real estate, you're admitting that whatever you're doing right now is not working. Therefore, when you join, if you join our company, expect a change and do things the way that we do them and try to do them as fast as possible in that manner. Because if you just give up that to your coach and the team members here who are trying to help you out, then you will grow. If you maintain the same things that you're doing right now, you will not grow. It's as simple as listening and doing what everybody else is doing in our company.
All right. Kevin?
Perfect. I was at Walt Disney World a few weeks ago, and there's this big Walt Disney quote, and it said, "Actions do not happen until talking ceases." So it's something where I would say if you're thinking about making a change, I mean, this is what I did. I made sure I was financially stable for 3 months was my thing. I made sure for 3 months I had nothing to worry about on my finance side. And then once I decided to change, I just did it. And I committed full to the process, and I knew the results would come. Mm-hmm. And after being in the business now for a little while and learning or seeing all the top producers and all the top guys from around the country, it's clear that the process that we have works. So as long as you follow that process, it's going to work. You just can't focus on the results or or whine about anything. You just have to keep going with the process.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I mean, the three of them basically, said basically everything I could think of. I mean, the only thing I could add to that is, have a positive mindset and come to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically about all I can add to that.
Well, good. I guess if I was going to answer the question, what's on my mind right now is if you were thinking about making a change careers, change companies, or, whatever position you might be in, I think what I would do is I would reach out to people like this and start asking them questions because they've already been through what you're looking to go through. Instead of just going to a company and asking them, how do you work and how do you do this and what do you earn and what's the commission that you'll pay me? Why don't you go out to the people that are really on the streets doing the business, have been where you've been, maybe are already doing what you want to do. Go interview them and ask them questions. Would that be okay if anyone ever emailed you or called you?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate that. So take advantage of that. Again, I hope you got some value out of this. I'm Greg Harrelson, and this is a great group of real estate agents that are on their way to stardom. If we can ever do anything for you in the future, just please reach out to us at any time. Thank you so much.